Look at a map of the world today. The shorelines of the continents and the vast stretches of ocean between them look entirely fixed, locked into a permanent geography. But geology operates on a completely different timeline. If you fast forward or rewind the clock by a few 100 million years, the map becomes unrecognizable. In 1963, scientists Fred Vine and Drummond Matthews began detecting bizarre alternating magnetic signals coming from the rock of the ocean floor. This top-down diagram shows how those signals map out into symmetrical alternating black and white stripes pushing outward from deep ocean ridges. As magma rises and cools, it locks in the Earth's shifting magnetic polarity, effectively acting as a planetary tape recorder. This process of seafloor spreading shows that the Earth is actively creating new rock and continuously pushing the continents apart, which creates a massive physical paradox. If the Atlantic Ocean is actively widening and creating millions of square miles of new crust, why isn't the entire planet inflating like a balloon? Since the Earth maintains a constant size, we know that for every inch of new rock formed in the ocean, an equal amount of crust must be destroyed somewhere else. Geologist J. Tuzo Wilson identified the physical link between these two processes, demonstrating that the creation of new crust on one side of a tectonic plate is directly tied to the destruction of old crust on the other. His concept, known today as the Wilson cycle, defines an ocean as a temporary entity with a distinct life cycle of birth, maturity, and death. The cycle starts when deep mantle heat physically tears a solid landmass in half, opening a massive, jagged rift. The Red Sea is a juvenile ocean in this exact stage today, actively splitting the landmasses of Africa and the Arabian Peninsula and slowly filling the rift with water. Over millions of years, as the new ocean basin widens, the older rocks pushed to its furthest edges become incredibly cold. This extreme cooling causes the rock to contract, making the older crust significantly denser than the hot, semi-fluid mantle it floats on. This shift in density sets a ticking clock on the ocean's survival, making its eventual collapse a physical certainty. Gravity overtakes the cold, heavy crust at the edge of the ocean, forcing it to bend and sink downward beneath a lighter continental plate. This sinking action, slap pull, provides the primary mechanical force dragging the plate along, driving mantle convection. But how do we prove this deep Earth destruction is happening if we can't physically see it? American scientist Victor Benioff found a way to map the process by tracking the exact depths of earthquakes along tectonic boundaries. When we chart the shallow, intermediate, and deep earthquakes along a boundary, the data points align into a clear, plunging diagonal line. These groupings, Benioff zones, act as a planetary sonogram, allowing us to trace the dying plate as it plunges into the Earth. Benioff zones provide the definitive proof that the Earth's crust is continuously recycled, successfully solving the paradox of the non-inflating Earth. Once the ocean floor is completely swallowed, the continents on either side violently crash into one another. This collision forces the crust upward, building massive, jagged mountain ranges like the Himalayas. We can find evidence of much older, long-dead oceans in eroded mountain belts like the Appalachians, which mark the site of an ancient collision. These monumental crashes leave behind tectonic inheritance, deep, permanent scars and weakened zones inside the Earth's lithosphere. Those relic sutures dictate the future layout of the planet. They act as the precise mechanical weak points where the crust will eventually tear open to start a new ocean. The world map we see today represents a single temporary frame in a billion-year thermodynamic movie. The very solid ground beneath our feet is actively moving, waiting its turn in a planetary-scale recycling engine. The oceans we sail on today are merely the ghosts of the oceans that existed before them, and all of them are inevitably destined to be